Hey everybody, just wanted to come on at the beginning of this and remind you that these videos are sponsored by Guildhouse Games, the creators of Varia. If you want to get yourself the deck that you're about to see reviewed or any of the decks from Season 2, please feel free to go to guildhousegamesllc.com/shop and don't forget to use the code GEEKFORALL for 10% off. Thank you and enjoy the video. What's going on, everybody? This is Joe.
And Amy.
We are Geek for All, and we are here to continue our series of reviewing the Varia Season 2 decks from the Kickstarter. We have already done, as you can see, the Moonlit Cleric, the Fourth Blade, and the Phoenix Spell Sword. Not in that order. I kind of went out of order there. But if you are interested, you can click in that top corner to go see the playlist of all of those. And obviously this one will be added to it as well. But today, as you can see from the title down below, and probably from the thumbnail as well, we are reviewing the Psychic Fencer.
Ooh.
Very interesting. Very,
Is it underwater?
Cybernetic looking. Huh. I don't think so. It very much looks like it could be.
It looks like these are fish.
Yeah.
And like this is like algae
Kelp.
or whatever.
Kelp. Yeah, I think it's like there's like a fire or something, and so this is like debris kind of coming off of the fire and kind of floating away. But it definitely scans as underwater. Yeah, that's so interesting.
We'll see when we open it up.
It seems like this character is very cybernetic. There's even like smoke or smog kind of fuming out of this like box on its shoulder or back area. They have what looks like a metal arm. Which I assume is not a metal-coated arm, but instead a metal replacement arm, especially because they have like a Bane mask here over their face, and their eye looks cybernetic as well. So it'll be interesting to see what that means. On the back, we see a little bit better. Oh, okay. Very nice. I like that art a lot.
Yeah.
That's definitely not underwater, although...
No.
And it looks like these people have already been cut in half by the fencer.
They're like ninjas or something.
Yeah, it seems it. And then are these buildings, I guess, over here? Yeah. And then obviously the moon looking awesome in the background. And so this deck has difficulty 3 of 5, considered intermediate. We have reviewed some easier ones, some harder ones so far. And then I like reading this little blurb on the back, so I'll move it a little closer for all of you. But I'll still try to let you see most of the art. Forget everything you know about collectible card games. In Varia, there aren't any minions to protect you or walls to hide behind. You raise the shield, you cast the spell, you swing for the win with your weapon of choice. If you want to stay 10 steps ahead of your foes, you'll have to unravel their minds yourself.
Unravel their minds?
Well, this is the Psychic Fencer.
Oh, I forgot about the psychic part.
Well, because, Fencer is one thing, and then it's cybernetic, so yeah. Psychic, not necessarily something that, just from looking at this, you'd necessarily factor in. Although, I will say the glowing eye, very reminiscent of Cable, a member of the X-Men, who also has psychic abilities.
I feel like we're playing Pokemon all over again. I'm like, is this a water type Pokemon? No, it's a fighting type with the sword. Wait, no, it's a steel type. And then I was like, oh yeah, psychic.
So if you're curious about our exploits playing Pokemon, you can check out our Video Games for All channel, links down in the description box below. And hey, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell here and anywhere else that you see linked down below. Video Games for All or Gluten Free for All. And hey, we have been going through these promo cards that we received as well from the Kickstarter. Last time we looked at the Phoenix Spell Sword card, Tempering Fire, and this time, because we just did the Moonlit Cleric deck last time, we are going to go ahead and look at this Open Heart, Open Mind.
It's so cool.
Yeah. That like full art foiling or premium nature of it is just amazing looking.
Yeah.
Obviously the lantern looks sick in foil. the moon, just the whole background.
Can you get a little bit more light on it? Whoa. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Very, very awesome. Beautiful. So yeah, there you go. Again, the text always looks kind of crazy on the camera.
Yeah.
In foil. So that's awesome. Really, really like that. So yeah, we try to show off one of those videos. So again, you can check out the other videos, and obviously we have more to come in the coming weeks. Another reason to make sure that you are subscribed. Let's leave the Psychic Fencer box back here. Obviously we have then the, I guess, more full art version of this art here.
Yeah, kind of. There's like more at the bottom, so you can tell if it's water or not now.
Can you though?
No, I guess not.
And then as we've been doing, I think we're on the losing side of this working every time. But let's see. Come on. I'll try to move in a little bit, give it a little bit of help. Nope. Not that time either. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like, it's still pretty damn easy to take this thing apart, but
he says.
Hey. Just because I couldn't get a grip on it doesn't mean it's not easy to open. All right, and so that comes off easily enough. Okay. And then, as we recall, the back of this kind of full art character art has the description or the lore for the character. Emmy. Okay. Emmy knows the danger of keeping up appearances. A psychic sensitive born to a wealthy house that prized martial skill above all, she took up fencing, winning local competitions by getting into opponents' heads and placing respectably in the realm-wide championship. Yet she could not enjoy her victories. She sensed trouble looming over those she loved. Her house was in debt to a higher-ranking lord, and when it defaulted, that lord sent an army to seize its holdings and take repayment in blood. Emmy, unable to convince her family of the danger she sensed, fled by herself. Alone and broke for the first time in her life, Emmy tried to pawn her sword. The pawnbroker, a member of a crime syndicate, recruited her instead. Emmy traded a noblewoman's delicate prosthetics for precision machinery, becoming one of the syndicate's deadliest operatives. Her current target is the Polabi Ranger Jiro, whom she suspects stole an antique jade pendant belonging to her late boss. Wow. I actually have to say that I really think it's awesome that if I'm reading this correctly, that Emmy seems to be disabled. Or at least, that she seems to be missing these body parts that we are now seeing replaced with the prosthetics. Mm-hmm. So it's not the kind of thing where she let herself get experimented on or something like that, where you see like cybernetics occurring. This is, she was always missing these, or at least, previously missing these. And instead of a noble person's prosthetics, which would just be like fancy or whatever, right, they now have function in fighting or defending herself or what have you. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So we move on to Unguard. Very cool. Again, obviously just the promo art that we've seen, or not the promo art, but
still underwater.
Interesting that the flavor text says your move, and it is a physical precision card.
Ooh.
This action gains a power die, because it doesn't have one presently, and is treated as if it were an attack until end of turn, and it gains a power die and is treated as if it were a block until end. Oh, choose one. Okay. So it gets a power die and is treated either as an attack or a block. Very versatile. Really, really cool. Which, again, I guess makes sense for a fencer, that you can use your ability to be either an attack or a block. Also flavorful for a psychic, because you'll know, oh, okay, my opponent is on the back foot, let me attack here, or, oh, my opponent is being aggressive and going to attack, let me defend. And it would be something that the psychic would be able to alert themselves to ahead of time. Very cool.
Yes.
There's the Unguard. 2 and 3.
Every card is on guard.
Okay, then we have a quick step lunge. That looks awesome. I love you get a better look at her hair in this one with the kind of ponytail going back like that.
Yeah, it's like whooshing in the wind.
Plus a better look at the dichotomy of her face there.
Yeah.
In here, it kind of blends in, right? The color difference.
You kind of can't really tell like, where her face ends and the like mechanical thing begins.
Yeah, but here it's very obvious, and that's really cool looking. Yeah, I like the art, the colors of this are really, really great. And again, especially because what we've seen so far is all like this is like very blue coated, right? So this gives you a better look at what she looks like.
Yeah.
Which is great. I like that a lot. You talk about perspective all the time. You know, this is like just missing you, kind of like coming at your right ear.
Yeah, it's cool. And the like lightning that's coming out of her eye.
Yeah.
Is you can see it like hitting the sword or the what is that piece called? The hilt?
Oh, okay, sure. The hilt or the handle of the actual fencing apparatus. If it's not called a sword, I am so sorry, but I'm going to call it a sword. Maybe when we get to the item at the end, then we will learn exactly what it's called, because I'm sure there's a particular name for it. Fencing...
Yeah, but I think it's a type of sword.
Yeah. Fencing, definitely not something that I'm, like, very up on in terms of my knowledge of
well, I guess like a
how
rapier,
that sport goes.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because that's like a really thin blade, sometimes even with, like, a ball at the end.
Sure.
like an under-sharpened end or something.
Yeah. Well, especially for, like, you know, just friendly competition, like, you know, it's stabbing the crap out of your opponent. And yes, the lightning you were talking about going here, but also coming off this way, too.
Yeah.
Really nice. And this is where our token comes from. We'll see this, I guess, at the end. That's a cool art to also be on a token. I like that. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the moment, you may engage your target because you're stepping in. Right? So that makes perfect sense. I really like that.
Yeah, of course.
And it has reach.
How Varia does it.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. But yeah, it has reach, of course, so that, you know, even if you are not engaged, you can step up and engage them as well. Really cool. Whoops. Okay. Well, I'm picking it up anyway, so there we go. And 3 of these as well. Ooh, Savvy.
That's cool.
Savvy Riposte. I believe it's called Riposte. I've always said it that way. Riposte, maybe. But it's a way to kind of respond in kind to an attack that has come your way. So this is a physical attack precision. Oh, so was the quick step lunge, by the way, also a physical attack precision. We didn't really talk about that. This is also a physical attack precision, and it can give you Savvy Riposte tokens as well. Okay. Interesting. So this one, something that we haven't seen discussed with this game before, at least to my recollection. At the beginning of the moment, if your target's action has the same name as a card in their discard pile, this action gains an extra power die and an extra focus die until end of turn. So that's really cool because some of the... because obviously, as we've seen, a lot of these decks have a lot of duplicates.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a way to punish other decks for using duplicates and making this more powerful because of it.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. I mean, do we have to talk about how there's pretty good lighting in this, in that even though it's backlit, there's still a good amount of lighting.
Yeah, she looks so cool.
Right? Really, really awesome.
Yeah, this is my favorite art of all the ones that we've seen so far, so...
Yeah. Very bright on her fingers here, almost like the light is shining through her hand, and you can like see through it basically, which is really great.
It's in bright sunlight, even though it's definitely not.
Yeah, or like when you like, you know, take a flashlight and shine it on the other side of your hand, and you can like see bits of the inner workings of your hand through your skin. So we have 3 of those as well. 3 of each of them. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wow.
Damn.
That is gorgeous. Holy crap. Look at that.
She's so cool.
Confusion. Okay, and so now we're seeing, I guess, what some of the stacks from this deck are going to be, because on a hit, you apply 4 Confused to your target.
Nice.
Very nice. And from Confusion, that makes sense. It is fast, it is ranged, because it's one of her psychic abilities, as opposed to kind of all of the other cards so far, which have been physical attacks, which seem to be using her Rapier. I believe you are correct on it being called a Rapier. They have all used her Rapier in her physical attacks. This, definitely a psychic attack, as it even says. Magical attack, psychic.
I love all the eyeballs.
Gorgeous. Amazing.
So cool.
Yeah.
And there's like this sort of membrane of blue energy surrounding her. It's really cool.
Yeah, you can like almost see past her to like something going on here. There's like a building or something back there. But like,
I think it's the thing that we saw in
oh, you're absolutely right. Where it's spewing the smoke out. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, because at first I was like, wow, you can really see through. But no, you're right. And this is definitely like what you would be experiencing if she were kind of attacking your mind with her psychic abilities. Really, really cool.
Wow.
I like that a lot.
And I love like the texture of this painting.
Yeah.
That it's so much fuzzier than the like strong, sharp lines that we see in the other arts. Because I feel like it really kind of puts you in the mood that you need to be in to like experience this picture.
Okay, sure.
And experience the confusion that you're experiencing.
Yeah, no, this is sick.
Like it makes everything fuzzy.
Yeah. No, this is my jam in terms of card art. A lot. I like this quite a bit. Ooh, Jesus. All right, well, maybe I spoke too soon. I like this too. Concussive Blast. Also a magical attack psychic. This one...
It's fish.
Yeah, it's like... And there's like, I guess, what are supposed to be like lily pads in the brain.
Yeah.
From the water of this of her mind.
So weird.
Find the bridge? What bridge? Spill your secrets, or I'll do it for you. Emmy, Syndicate Enforcer.
Ooh.
Wow. So, hold on. Is this Emmy? I thought this was her, but it doesn't look like her.
No, I don't know.
Maybe
there's somebody else wearing the same sort of thing on their mouth.
It's so weird.
I'm confused.
Yeah, me too. Interesting.
I think it's just supposed to be like a lot more abstract, you know?
Well, and I guess if she's using her psychic power, she can kind of make herself look to you any way she wants, right? I mean, obviously her brain is exposed, and so that's something separate. Interesting. If this action would deal damage, prevent it. The player who would have been dealt damage by this action discards cards at random equal to the damage prevented in this way, and then draws that many cards. Wow. Very interesting, because as we know, if you get to the end of your deck, that's when you start getting fatigue stacks, if I recall correctly. So you're just getting them closer to that, especially, is there more than one? Ooh, there is. Wow.
Wow.
And you get a D6 plus 4 if this actually hits.
Wow.
And you get a D4 plus 4 to make sure that it hits. This card seems sick. I like this a lot. Wow. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff going on in these arts. In a great way, by the way. That's not a negative by any means.
Yeah, those butterflies are so pretty.
The flavor text does say, I love butterflies. The way they flutter this way and that way. Majestic little creatures. I fought this Palobi once. The bridge, they called him. So there you go. There's that bridge we just heard about in the last card.
This guy.
Yeah. Who floated about the battlefield with similar majesty. This way, that way. Then he'd try to gut you like a fish. Great guy. I wonder if he's still hunting sky tuna out on the edge. Okay, so it's not this guy. Because she just said, I wonder if he's still hunting sky tuna out on the edge. So now my question is he hunting...
That has fish.
Yeah.
Not that it's tuna.
But I wonder if he's still hunting sky tuna out on the edge. Does that mean, like, that she left him there hunting sky tuna? Like this?
I don't know, man.
Or if it's just, you know, he likes hunting sky tuna. It's his hobby, and that's there are sky tuna out on the edge. But again, obviously another magical attack psychic. I love this. So like I said, I think this is her kind of presenting herself however she wants you to see her, right? Because you still see the eye. And yeah, I think that's what's going on here. Okay. She's making herself look like this to him, who she is shattering the psyche of. Really, really awesome. And there's more than one of those as well. 2 to be exact. Mirror Mind Thrust. Wow.
Whoa.
Physical attack precision, but, you know, it's like a combined psychic physical type thing. And then there's another token, Mirror Mind token. That's the 3rd card, I think, that makes tokens in this deck, now that I am thinking about it, right? I think the first 2 did, and now this one does as well. When you plan this action, you may create a Mirror Mind token, or Mirror Mind Thrust token, in either this moment or the next available moment. You may plan psychic cards in your hand as if they had fast, as long as you plan them as a combo with this action.
Nice.
Really cool.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
I like that.
And then at the beginning of the moment, you may engage your target because it's a thrust. Really awesome. The art is like just obscure enough for you to not really know what's going on.
Right.
Like everything's a little fuzzy or hazy, but it's still amazing looking at the same time.
Like we're like in a tent.
Sure.
Or something.
Okay.
You know, and it's like the sun has just gone down.
See, I see it almost as like a desert with like a bunch of dust being kicked up or something.
Oh, okay.
Also probably at dusk, like you're saying, but like, you know, something's going on here to like obscure everything and make everything look or not look
wait, no, that's
clear.
The box.
What's the box?
That's the box giving off smoke.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I wonder, that's got to be one of her items at the end here, I assume. But yeah, you're right. Okay. But it's over here too, right? So like it's definitely obscuring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to be part of her strategy, I assume. And it's Mirror Mind Thrust because this is her actively doing it. And I guess this is her psychic self doing it to his mind. Yeah,
I guess it's that like purple skullish thing.
Yes. Yes. This fellow or madam or what have you.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah, that this is her psychic construct. Okay. Oh, okay. And this also, I should have noted this earlier. This has D6 plus star. Star is equal to the number of cards in your target's hand. So you actually care about the number of cards in their hand. And so I guess, you know, with the other card that was talking about them discarding a bunch of their cards and then drawing that many. Yeah. Okay. Very, very cool.
Cool.
I like that a lot. And we have 2 of those. We have 2 of those, yes. Here is the art from the back of the box. Kimono Pirouette. That's the best I'm going to do with that. And now that we see more of the art, we see that these like sweeping lines here are because she's doing a pirouette. She's spinning around and has cut these guys in half while doing so. Wow. I like that a lot. Notably, this action cannot be replaced. That's interesting. Physical attack precision. Before you pay to perform this action, search your target's discard pile, because we have already seen cards that make them discard, for up to 3 attack actions and combine them with this action. Wow. If this action is psychic, search your target's hand and discard pile for up to 3 attack actions and combine them with this action instead. That's fantastic. And so now you can see, I guess, why it can't be replaced, because if you could replace this with something even more powerful than itself, like that could be very, very busted as opposed to just pretty damn busted. That is awesome.
Interesting name of this card. I was looking at the buildings to try and see if they looked pagoda-ish or not, but I feel like they don't.
It's hard to tell. Maybe this roof does come to a point in the middle.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
Can't really tell though.
No. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I love this art. Seems very different in style than literally any of the other ones, just because of the like buildings that we see in the background and the ninjas that we're seeing fighting her or whatever.
The color scheme's different. And just like the, I don't know, the way the action, I feel like, is being portrayed is different as well. Yeah.
Very unique. Oh, there's a third guy down here. I didn't even notice him. Wow. Oh, and that makes sense. 3 attack actions.
Yeah.
And so, of course, there's 3 guys in the art being cut in half.
Of course.
I like that. I like it. Yes. An acid tsunami.
Oh, Jesus. How many things do we need to do here?
It seems dangerous. Acid tsunami is
I guess she's a poison type, too.
is a
types.
Magical attack toxic. Very nice. And of course, it makes sense that it has reach because it does not have to be, you know, consolidated to just right in front of you.
This is such a cool art.
And of course, again, as acid would imply to you, on a hit, you ruin all items your target has equipped. You just ruin them all.
No.
Really, really cool. Okay, and it says this action takes 2 moments to plan and occupies the second of the 2 moments. You cannot plan actions in this action's leading moment. So it's really like, okay, this is going to be a whole thing. You're telling your opponent, like, be ready for it. That's amazing. I like that a lot. Okay, and it's, of course, to hit, it's a d6 plus 8, which is one of the highest numbers that I've seen in that space.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Really, really cool. And yes, you were talking about the art. I mean, like, the colors are insane. I love that, like, you can tell that this acid is burning away their flesh because they're just skeletons now.
Yeah, and it's, like, burned through, I don't know, there's, like, blood coming off of it, too.
Yeah, amazing.
It's just, like, it's so cool.
Right, agreed.
I don't know, it's got, like, an undead or like witch doctor-y kind of a feel to it.
Well, yeah, in a different context, these could be like skeletal enemies attacking you, right? And just they have green energy coming off of them because they're undead, or maybe like a necromancer brought them back or something.
Right.
But this is a situation where no, this is just happening to them and they're like dissolving away in the process.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Really cool. Agreed. Okay. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but the screen stuff, I mean, it feels more like a magical flame of sorts to me than it does like acid.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, it
could be like a chemical kind of thing. Like if it's acid that like burns you away.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I guess it would kind of look like that a little bit. Even if it like started out as a liquid, if it kind of turned you into a steam, then yeah, I guess it would kind of do that.
That's so gross. Really gross. We have bind wounds. We've seen this one before, so we are to the generic half of the deck. Again, still really cool. We've talked about it in past videos, but I like this art a lot. It's very, I think we saw it in the 4th Blade, I think, or the Phoenix Spellsword. But yeah, I like this art a lot. She looks really cool.
Yeah.
Unfazed, this guy's like one of my favorites. This dude's so cool.
Such a boss. I don't even know what else to call him.
We have Switch Step Edge, which in this deck does make sense because you're talking about an edge. But again, I mean, the Rapier is not really known for its slashing capabilities, right? But still. And then, of course, it has the quote from Valachade, Duchess of Daggers, which we learned more about in the last deck review.
I like her outfit a lot.
Right? She looks awesome.
Yeah.
We have 2 of those. Then we have 2 dodges. Pretty self-explanatory. Physical block dexterity. We've, I believe, talked about this already as well. Frost foil. Love this art. Love this character. Love this card. So interesting. More than one of those as well. Rundown. We've talked about. This like barbarian-looking lady is awesome. Spellpiercer. I believe we've seen this before. Maybe not. But,
so.
Oh, God, so cool. I love the, like, kind of impact or feedback from this guy actually piercing this rune, if you will, or this magical space here. Really, really cool. Weeping Cut. We've seen this one, too. This one's sick.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah, it is.
But in a great way.
And again, kind of showing what looks like somebody with the face mask thing on. Right? Like the Psychic Fencer has. But they have, it could also be like the Fourth Blade's mouth covering.
Yeah.
Right? They're like similar in that way.
Maybe this is on, maybe this whole thing like takes place on like a plane where certain people have a lot of trouble breathing. So they have like these sort of respirators that are just like permanently like affixed to them.
Well, so the flavor text says the Fenju Daimyo taxes each of Forge's family-owned factories based on its annual production. Each family lives in constant fear of failure to turn over their assigned share. Whether paid in gold or blood, the Fenju Daimyo always collects its dues.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So interesting. It's a little bit hard for me, unfortunately, to keep track of all of these like syndicates or organizations or whatever, especially because we don't technically know, I feel like, the Psychic Fencers organization's name, right? It just says the pawnbroker, a member of a crime syndicate, recruited her. So, okay. Interesting. Ooh, Ride the Lightning. What a cool card name, huh?
Yeah. And the art is freaking gorgeous.
Amazing.
Like,
Amazing.
I don't even know.
Yeah. Magical Lightning, because of course. Look at it. Move relative to your target. Very nice. If this action is the first action planned in a moment, only fast actions can be planned in that moment. Makes sense. Because you're kind of implying like, yeah, you got to be real fast to be able to respond to lightning.
I think this is the second time we're seeing this card.
Maybe?
Because it's one of the ones that's...
In the generic half?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
I think so.
Maybe. But regardless, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Amazing.
Sick colors on this art. Sick. Okay. Fencer's Foil. Okay, so here is the, again, if we're going to call it a rapier. Yes, it literally says rapier at the bottom, right there. Perfect. Good job, Amy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then again, similar to that first card, at the beginning of the moment, you choose for this to be either an attack with a power die or a block with a power die. Okay. In the deep folds of Forge, powerful weapons are for sale if you know where to look. Really cool. I like that a lot. And it's a physical dexterity, which makes perfect sense for a rapier, that it's a dex-based weapon. Mm-hmm. Speaking in some D&D terms there. But that's awesome. I like that. And then Eye of the Oni. So this is a mask, not a... Interesting. I assumed it was the cybernetic that was, like, fused to her.
It's removable, I guess.
Oh, and very interesting. We talked about all the things that made tokens, right? There were 3 different cards that made tokens. If a card or ability would cause you to create a token action on the timeline, you may create a maddening gore token instead.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
That sounds sick. What does that do? I guess we'll find out when we get to the tokens in the next couple of cards.
I guess it's a purple skeleton that rips open your brain or whatever.
Yeah, and shows you all the fish and lily pads you got in there. That's really awesome. Eye of the Oni. What a great name for an artifact.
Yeah.
I like that. There's the Maddening Gore. We immediately see it. And it's like a psychic blade going through the back of your head, out the front. Magical attack, Demonic Psychic. On a hit, your target discards a card at random and then draws a card. So a lot of different things in this deck, making your opponents like get fatigued faster, which makes perfect sense for a psychic attacking your mind. You would not necessarily know how to handle that, and you'd just be so tired of it after a while that you'd get fatigued a lot faster. I love that.
Well, isn't fatigue a mechanic?
That's what I'm saying. So as you run out of cards in your deck to draw, you get fatigue stacks.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, so like that's why I'm saying it's a good thing to it's flavorful to show that you're actually getting fatigued literally and figuratively.
I didn't realize it actually said that, and I was like,
Well, no, this doesn't say that. It's just part of the rules, right? That if you were to try to draw a card
I
and you
see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I just assumed if it didn't say that meant that it wasn't doing that.
Right, yeah, that's just inherent to the game, is that if you can't draw anymore, you get a stack of fatigued.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Okay. So that's Maddening Gore. Then we have, and then on the other side is Quick Step Lunge, by the way. And then, of course, there's Quick Step Lunge immediately following. These are just the tokens that we've seen from before. There's the Savvy Riposte. There's the Maddening Gore. There's the Mirror Mind Thrust. Whoops. And, of course, another Maddening Gore. Wow. That makes sense.
Jeez.
That they would have. Well, because we had 3 different cards that made tokens, as we've seen. The Savvy Riposte, the Quick Step Lunge, and the Mirror Mind Thrust.
So maddening.
But with your item that you can use, you can turn any of them into the Maddening Gore. So, very, very good. And then, of course, so yes, each of these has a Maddening Gore on the other side.
Oh, wow. That's so many.
Then we move on to the stacks, and here is Fatigued. Actions you perform have, at the end of the moment, you lose 1 health point for each stack of fatigue you have. Very nice. And Molten, of course. Although I don't recall seeing anything that gives you Molten in this deck, but that may just be, hey, this is the card that we have. It's got Fatigue on one side, Molten on the other. And then if your opponent does something with it, then that makes more sense. That is just the Varia card back, sorry. And this is Bleeding, which again, I don't believe anything gave you, but Confused. Yeah. And I love what they chose to use for the Confused stack.
Yeah, so we've seen this art already for Confused, but of course we didn't have the context of seeing the Confusion card yet until we opened this deck.
Really cool.
So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
How perfectly it matches, and just the whole feel of it is just really cool. Great stuff. And then, of course, as we have with every deck, the last card is a Cutout and Assemble with some dice, a D4 and a D6, showing you what those symbols are for if and when you come across them on any of these cards. And then on the other side, the turn structure. I liked this deck. I think the Phoenix Spellsword, personally, still stands out to me as, like, my favorite that we reviewed so far. Yeah, I think I'd still have to agree with that, to be honest.
But that doesn't mean that any of these are bad, necessarily. It's just that the Phoenix Spellsword is the one that spoke to me, I think, the most. So, obviously, we mentioned it up at the top in that little cutaway, but if you want to get this deck for yourself, or any of the decks in the playlist that was linked up at the top for you, please do not hesitate to go to the website that you have seen at the bottom of your screen, guildhousegamesllc.com/shop. And if you do, let them know that we sent you and get your discount by using the discount code GEEK, the number 4, all, for 10% off. Thank you so much to Guildhouse Games for having us and sponsoring us for this. It's so much fun doing this.
Yes, we're so grateful.
Right?
To truthfully, just to have the honor.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Yes. We are now officially over halfway through with these.
Yeah.
But we still have 3 more decks to go. So if you are still on the fence about whether you want these or you just want to check out what the rest of these look like, definitely make sure that you stay tuned. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so that you will get notifications whenever any of our videos come out, including the continuation of these reviews over the next 3 weeks. Every Monday we have these reviews coming out, so stay tuned. Also on Mondays, if you care, we are live right here on this channel, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, playing some MTG Arena. If you're fans of Magic the Gathering, or if you're curious about the game, you can definitely come check us out. And then on Fridays, we play video games. We have been playing through X-Men Legends for the PlayStation 2, so definitely tune in for that as well. Fridays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Also, I guess I should say that if you're interested, somebody else who is part of the Varia family, if you will, our good friend Dave over at twitch.tv/ in this case, Insane Games TV _ I will be joining Dave this Wednesday at 9 p.m. to play through some Spider-Man Miles Morales. So if that is something that's interesting to you, definitely come check that out. We would love to have you. So thank you all so very much for being here. I really hope that you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it, because God knows that's a lot.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear your thoughts about the deck, about us, about Varia, about anything at all, down in the description or the comments section below. Don't write in the description; it won't work for you. That's my job. Anyway, thank you all once again.
Can try.
Yeah, don't break our stuff, please. It's the one day that like YouTube messes up and lets people alter the description of videos by accident. But anyway, hey, don't forget, likes and shares go a long way to help us out as well. If you like the things that we do, those are great ways to help out also.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. And for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe.
And I'm Amy.
And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.